Point it at your sister. She gonna point it right in her eye as soon as she get out. Alright, but I had to change. I had to change my entire life. I had to be like, I had to smile. I had to force myself to smile. I had to force myself to be happy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I wasn't happy, but I had to show that I was happy. I had to get in their face and be all happy and go lucky and all that other stuff, which I didn't know how to do at the time. So, yeah, go ahead. So with Marilyn trying to understand that she needed a little bit more from me than just a staring into the deep abyss of my soul. So I'm just happy now and trying to understand with my kids and giving them a different type of love, because it just wasn't what they needed at the time. They needed a little bit more from me. So you gotta change. You gotta change yourself in certain ways, because if you're not, it's not going to bode well with the children. And with girls and myself being this stoic dude, like, yeah, I was in the military, I was in the Marine Corps, blah 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 blah. But talking to my old Marines, they said the same thing about me. They were just like, you had this look on your face where it's just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't want nothing to do. Like, apparently I just had this resting bitch face at all times. And I was just like, there's no way. I'm not that guy, am I? And everyone told me the same thing. My wife said it, and I was like, damn. So I changed. I literally was like smiling more with Marilyn, and next thing you know, start smiling. Yep. And then with Callie, I didn't have that issue because I'm in her face. I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm giggling. And then with Virginia, of course, I'm getting better with it. And I had to change. I had to change my entire personality to make sure my kids know that, their father is happy with them around. And then, of course, with girls, and me being the only guy in the house, I have to show that I'm happy with them, that I'm happy that I have them. Marilyn's already said it once before, that I could be sad that there's no boy. And I was like, no, don't ever think in your life I am not happy that you are not a boy. Like, what? Like, why on God's earth would I ever be disappointed that you're not a boy? Like, what are you talking about? I'm happy with you, how you are, exactly. Because if you really think about it, with Marilyn, don't get me wrong, all my other kids have changed me as well, but Marilyn changed me. Yeah, like, she changed everything. And I literally posted, like, when I talk about her and stuff like that, when I talk about her birthday, I literally say the moment my life changed forever. Because it did. I am completely different from before I had Marilyn to now. Because, I'm trying new things. I'm out here, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I didn't rock pink before, but I'm rocking pink at all times because my kids want me to wear pink. Go to the bathroom. Don't let the cat out. But, I'm wearing pink. They give me little freaking cat ears to wear on my head. And, I'm all into that stuff. I'm playing around with stuff I never really messed around with. It's
get you out
like, think about clothes.
Oh, you want to say what's up? Want to say what's up?
What's up, bro?
Say what's up to Cyber.
Hi, Cyber.
Hey, man.
Oh, watching Sid the Kid? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Watching Sid the Kid.
Sid the Kid.
Yeah, man.
You know why I keep watching it?
Why? Because you learning?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, go ahead. Go get something to eat. All right, close the door.
No, it's pretty cool to look back on to see, and like clothes and stuff like that. Like buying clothes for the girls, that's a different beast when you buy clothes for girls, because you gotta buy all kind of crap. You know what I mean? I'm buying all kind of shit.
Yeah, dresses and
panties and dresses and pantyhose and tights,
and leggings and joggers.
Like I ain't know none of that shit. But I think what's really cool with my kids, and they see the way I dress, they like some of that shit. Like, they like the color black and shit, which I think is funny. Like, they like I think my mother-in-law has said it a couple times. She's like, why they always wearing dark colors? And I was like, cause of me. They like it. They like black and stuff like that. The Jays. Remember
Yeah.
you gave J's to Callie and stuff, and now she loves them. She wants them.
It's funny, you say that because when my mom was out here, she took the boys to a Finish Line to buy sneakers for them, and literally the first sneaker that Malachi took was a pair of Jordan 1s, the mids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't want any other sneaker? And he's like, nope, I want this one. And then I'm like,
Why your hands so
looking at
sticky?
it. I'm looking at it, and then my mom asks Malachi, she's like, why do you want these? Like, there's other sneakers. And he's like, oh, because, he didn't say it, but he was like, you know why. And
You know why.
because I got all the Jordan 1s in the back. So he's like, oh, I got shoes just like that. Malik, too, he be with the,
I need to brush your hair in a minute. Because your
I
hair
want to wear my
messed up.
basketball shoes. I want to wear my basketball shoes today because I wear none.
I mean, I told you, Marilyn actually liked her pair of Air Maxes that we found.
Yeah.
Like, she's starting to get into it and stuff like that. Which I think is pretty funny now because I don't wear them anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I used to, but, since the injury, I can't really
You
rock
can't wear
shoes
shoes.
like
And
that.
it's
But
hard to
they
do.
still are into it. They're still into it. They, Callie likes hoodies like I do. She likes wearing hoodies like I do and stuff. She has a bunch of hoodies. She loves them. And I think it's pretty cool because, some of my stuff is starting to wear down on them. Like, some things that I do.
It's gonna happen.
They're
It's
starting,
gonna happen.
like hats,
They're gonna-
they're really into beanies and shit.
Yeah, they're gonna get their attitudes from you. They're gonna get their nuances from
Man,
you.
that's the
Like-
thing, bro. You would think they get their attitude from me. They get it from Maria.
Well,
And that's worse. That's worse.
Malachi and Malik, they both get our attitude from both of us. And again, be careful what you say and be careful what you do in front of the kids because, you argue around your kids, they're gonna learn that, and
They realize that shit, man.
they're gonna start acting like that. Like that's what happens. And she got a chair.
She got my chair. She got my range chair.
Yeah.
Why you got my range chair? Thank you. Thank you. She brought my whole range chair in here, dog. Like, how'd she even get this? It's supposed to be in here already. It is out. This is like all my fucking ranks on it for the range.
But yeah,
But-
man, another what is it? Another thing is that I learned, doing this is it's okay. Well, no, it's not about you no more. That's what That's
Oh,
what I
absolutely
learned.
not.
Yeah, once you have kids, it's not about you anymore, bro. Like at the end of the day, they come first
not
now.
the number
Ain't
one
nobody
priority.
ain't nobody give a fuck about what you want at this point. The minute you decide, like, you know what, I'm gonna have a kid, like,
It's
and
over.
I'm gonna keep it. Like, it ain't about
It's
you
over.
no more. It's over with. Ain't nobody give a fuck about you. Ain't nobody coming to see you. They coming to see the kids, and that's
Ain't
how
nobody coming to see you, bro.
it's okay.
Like, what you mean, dog?
And it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I'm just saying. But it's okay to be selfish from time to time. But to
Yeah.
be completely selfish and not put your kids' fucking needs first, I'm not cool with that. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta change. You have to
Because
change.
at the
You
end
gotta
of the
change
day-
your ways, bro.
Because at the end of the day, there were some things that I did not want to fucking do, but I had to provide. Like, shit, I got out of the Marine Corps in 2017. If I go get a job right now, I'll be on my 15th job. At one point, I was struggling, and I was over here working at the damn chow hall, scrubbing dishes. Dead ass. At Geiger, in North Carolina. I didn't want to do it, but at the end of the day, I had to suck up my fucking pride and did it because my kid needed to eat. And granted, did I want to be selfish? Hell yeah, I wanted to be selfish and not do that job. But at the end of the day, it's not about me.
Kids gotta eat.
The
Kids gotta get
eat.
taken care of.
There's
That's what. I mean,
like I said,
it's
I'm not saying. Like I said, there's
not
not. I'm
important.
not saying not to be selfish. Because look, I got that. That's me being selfish.
Hey, it's
but-
different.
But I was a lot worse though back in the day. I would get every single Jordan release every week, and it would put us in a financial, in a financial hold. And I had to realize that, I can't be doing this shit no more. It ain't about me no more like that. So,
Hey,
they
hold up.
bugging today. Yeah, they going wild today. You getting the real life of what we got to deal with on an everyday basis. I'm just saying. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's okay to just, treat yourself from time to time. You know, you could be selfish from time to time, but always put your kids first. Always put them first.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you started this out, like, when me and my wife got together, when you and your wife got together, anybody, you and your significant other got together, you had this child together. Before, it was just you and them. Didn't matter if you were married or not. It's you and your spouse. That's how it normally goes. Even when you're married, you don't have kids, or your girlfriend, whatever. Y'all are two separate people, and you will always be that person. Think about it. When you dated somebody in high school and stuff like that. Yeah, you dated them, y'all were together, but you were two separate people at all times. That's just how the game goes. Once you have a kid, anytime that kid is brought up, it's y'all. Y'all are together in this. There's no backing out of this. Don't matter if the father's not there, the mom did that. It don't matter. Because once you have a kid, it's always y'all, you two, the parents. It's never, separate. It's never like that no more. And you got to make choices and decisions based off that. Like, when I got my wife pregnant, we weren't married. I had to figure out what I was about to do. And I made it work. Because, I got to do what I got to do for my kid. I wanted to be there at the time. And I wanted to make sure my wife was there. And I wanted to make sure my wife was happy. I want to make sure the kid was happy. And, we're doing all these things. Like, people always ask, why did I not go back to DC? Why didn't I move back up to DC when I got out? Why didn't I go to Vegas?
Why would you do that?
So exactly. Like, why would I do that? Why would I dip out and go back home? That's selfish. What there is going to benefit my children more than if I moved here? It's family here. My wife's happy here. They have all their cousins here. And this family here is way more connected than my family. So why would I deny them the opportunity to grow up with their cousins? I never had the opportunity. Me and my cousins right now are fighting to keep our connection together that we just rekindled like 3 years ago. Exactly. You know what I mean? In our late 20s. And now my kids are able to grow up with their cousins, live with them. Every week they seeing them, playing with them. I'm saying, like, that's beautiful to me. Every time I see my nieces and nephews, I'll be looking at them, my nieces and nephew, my bad, because I only got one. But it's great when I see my one nephew and all my nieces.
Special guests too, hey, like I said.
But, hey, bro.
Like I said,
that's
what we do.
It's cool though. Like I'm so excited for my girls to be able to see their cousins, stuff like that. And then I think it's cool, bro.
What you said though, because my brother came out in July, and he has my nephew, their cousin, and it was weird. They were all constantly fighting because they don't know each other. They not like that, And the way my brother's bringing up his son is different than how I'm bringing up mine.
And them just not being together isn't gonna, it doesn't help. You know what I mean? When they're together, it helps the development of them being together. You know what I mean?
It does.
Like, it was like Malachi and Marilyn and then Malik and Callie when we were together. They were close because they saw each other often. They knew exactly who they were and stuff like that. It helps in that development stage with them to have a connection like that.
Yeah, no, for real, bro.
They're not just family no more. They're actual friends.
Yeah, and it's true. And it's true to say about because certain people, they'll have kids and they'll stay where they're at. Like me, for example, I was brought up in New York, New Jersey area. Myra was brought up in Connecticut. And, we get asked, like, hey, once Myra's done with, the whole military thing, where do you guys see yourself? Like, where do you guys see yourselves setting a foundation and staying at?
Yeah.
And my answer is all the time, it's North Carolina. And they're like, why wouldn't you go back home? You got family out there, you got this and the third. And I tell them, like, why the fuck would I want to go back home? Like, I know what's back home. I know how I was brought up. I'm not talking about my parents, but I'm talking about the environment.
No, you're talking about the environment.
The whole culture over there. You know what I'm saying? Why would I give that? Why would I want that for them? I want them to be better than me. That's the whole point. When you have kids, you don't want to put that pressure on them. But at the end of the day, the end goal is you want them
to be better than what I did. Yeah.
You want them to be better off than you were. You don't want them to making the same mistakes. Granted, they're going to make the same mistakes. You need to let them make those mistakes because that's how they learn. Yeah. And I'm still learning that now. because I do it with my brothers. Because I still have that, like, that fatherly instinct. Because I have mine. I don't want my brothers fucking up. I don't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I gotta remember and I gotta learn. Like, hey, they gotta fuck up because they need to learn on their own.
All right, you'll learn the same mistakes that we did, and my girls are gonna do the exact same thing. Even with, girls have their own different problems, and I understand that, and I've been learning them like as time goes on. Like I said, I don't know a lot, but I'm learning as it goes. And my girls getting we were talking about with your mom, with the girls, their heartbreak, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because
Exactly.
I got my heart broken. But I was a boy. It was a little different for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, I didn't even talk about it. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, that hurt. I bottled that in deep inside, and I kept it rolling. But, my girls, like Marilyn, when she get with somebody, some little boy, and she in love with the boy, high school love. High school ain't nothing worse than high school love.
Yeah.
And that don't work out, it's going to hurt so bad. It's going to hurt me. Because, I can't, and the sad part is you can't protect them from everything. And you want to protect them from that hurt, but they're going to have it. They're going to have it. And it's going to suck. And you can't do anything about it. Can't do shit about it. And you gotta think about that when you're having a kid, man. You can't stop everything. Can't protect them from everything.
Yeah.
They're going to fall. They going to trip. They going to get hurt. They going to bust a lip. They going to break a bone. They going to cry. They're going to be sad. It's just the way the game goes. You can't stop any of it. And trust me, I know, as any dad out there with a daughter, I know it hurts. And I know it hurts for a boy. It ain't no worse than seeing a boy, a potential man, crying because it hurts to see another sad like that. As a man, it does. And it's tough. Think about it. If I'm that sad when my wife cries, you know what I mean? My wife was having issues with her job and stuff, and she cried. Yeah. How mad do you think I'm gonna get when my baby girl cries?
Exactly.
Not like a baby cry like Virginia right now, but somebody do something to her and she cries.
Exactly. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Bro,
you think I'll be okay with this?
When Malachi was in first grade last year, he was having a lot of problems with his teacher, and he would come home
you told me about that.
He would come home very upset, and it's like I was pissed off too because I went on the field trip because I thought he was lying. You know what I'm saying? Because there were times where I asked him if he had homework, he'd tell me no, and then come to find out, motherfucker got homework, and I'm like, yo, why are you lying to me? Why are we doing this? And it's a creature of your environment. Because you look at who you got to deal with on an everyday basis, and I didn't realize that until I went on the field trip and I was in his teacher's face, and how she was coming at me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I literally, and that's one thing too. That's another thing too. Don't.
You gotta say sorry.
You gotta apologize to your fucking kids just because they kids.
You gotta say sorry.
No, apologize to them because at the end of the day, they learning from you. If you apologize to them, guess what it's gonna end up? They're gonna have sympathy and empathy for the other person. Yeah. And they gonna apologize, If I say
that is tough, bro, because I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I am not that guy.
It's tough to apologize. It's tough to apologize to your child, knowing that you fucked up. But there'll be times where I'll spaz out or give them a little spank on their butt real quick, and they didn't deserve it. I'm like, you know what? I go down to their level and I apologize. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Didn't I tell you not to do that?
I should not.
I did tell you not to do that.
You see? Yeah. We got this, and we all discipline our kids different ways. Me, the way I discipline my kids, I spank them last resort, but I put them in their room. I put them on timeout. I'll take their shit. Last year, the summertime was rough because every single day I'd tell them pick up their toys, pick up their toys, pick up their toys. They had a mess everywhere in this house to the point I just couldn't. I was over it. I went and got them totes out the garage. And I told them, start loading up these toys in these damn bins. Guess what? Say bye-bye, because you're not getting them for a minute. They didn't have their toys for 3 weeks. No toys for 3 weeks. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep my sanity. Since you guys like this, I'm going to take it away. All right? Because y'all don't listen. And I get it. Oh, they were 6 and they were 4. At the end of the day, they learned because what happened? They started we got to put our stuff away. Because implementing now. They want certain things. They gotta do. They gotta do something. There's responsibility. There has to be some sense of responsibility for them. Even at a young age, you gotta teach them responsibility. I tell Malachi, you're responsible for school, doing your schoolwork, and keeping your room clean, and washing your booty. That's it. Wash yourself, do your homework, clean your room. And and you gotta implement, like, the way I do it is I tell my kids, we're a team. At the end of the day, yeah, you see daddy doing this and daddy doing that, and mom goes to work, you know. But at the end of the day, we all got our part in this team.
Yeah.
Mom's the face of the franchise. She MVP. You know what I'm saying?
He said she face of the franchise, baby.
Yeah, she joined.
You know what I'm saying? She MVP. You know what I mean?
And I'm okay being Pippin. You know
what I mean?
I'll dish the ball out. You know, I'll dish here, dish there. I'll do what I gotta do. You know, but I tell the kids, hey, we all a team, bro. You gotta do your part. And sometimes I need help.
No, it be like that. I said, hey, I feel that, man. Marie's more like Derrick Henry. I'm more like Ryan Tannehill. We know who's more important, but you know, at the same time, you know, I gotta be up there, and these are my wide receivers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we know who's more important to the team, but you know, we're trying to do what we can do.
And again, it took me a long time because again, it's that sense of pride in a man. Like it takes a lot for a man to understand, like, hey, it's okay not to be the breadwinner in the household, because that was my identity crisis in 2018, 2019, because I felt like I had to provide. I felt like I'm the man.
Well, you grew up a certain way, and they pretty much taught you that way. Yeah. Nah. I made my decision a while ago that I don't care.
Yeah.
I was on that. They were like, oh yeah, breadwinner, got to do what I got to do for my house, for my family. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, when I was getting out, you know, I had to make sure my VA was on point, because I knew I needed to make sure I had to provide for my kids and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, bro, I'm going home. I'm about to stay home. Because my whole thing with that was my pops. 'Cause my pops wasn't really home a lot, you know, military, and then like at some points of his job, he was gone for like a week at a time. Like he'd be gone, like he'd only be home Sunday and Saturday. That was it. Only time we saw him. So it was like that for a couple of years. So yeah, I came to a point where I wanted to make sure that, you know, I was like, nah, I want to make sure I'm home. I want to make sure I'm home at all times. My kids know I'm home. They never confused that daddy not home. They know where he gonna be at when they get home.
Exactly.
And, you know, I just want to make sure that, you know, they have that stability for whatever. And then I want to make sure my wife is working. That, hey, nah, you working 9 to 5. That's it. No other crazy crap. 9 to 5, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? You leave for work. Then they go to school, and you come home from work when they get back from school. Like, you know, and we home. So it's, you know, we had to make sacrifices. Do I wish I was like still out there hooking and jabbing, or actually like working, or like traveling and like doing stuff like that? Yeah, I wish I was doing that. It'd been real cool to be doing shit like that. At the same time, I had a kid.
Yeah, and, it ain't about you anymore.
I had to change the game up. I had to change the game up on my own life, and then of course my like actual personality wise, you know, I had to change. Yeah. I had to be a girl dad, which, you know, everybody always says it and stuff like that. And, you know, people always, when they walk by me and they look at me, it's like, oh, a girl's so cute. It's so cool that you're a girl dad. I'm like, yeah, it sound cool. It do sound cool on the outside, but
the inside is rough.
You know what I'm saying? It is tough, but like I told Marilyn, like I tell anybody else that asks, do you ever wish you had a boy? Like, fuck no. I wouldn't change it for nothing, because I'm used to this. I accepted my life as is. I don't need a boy. I had a boy, bro, it'll fuck everything up. I wouldn't know what to do with him. He'll be screwed. He'll be so screwed.
It'll be that double standard.
Yes.
Things, but
he can't. He could do stuff when he get old enough, and Maryland and Cali and Virginia, they couldn't do it. Cause I wouldn't let him. I'll be like, oh yeah, you could do what you want to do. You're a boy. Go out there and live your life, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't let Virginia do it, so why would I let him do it?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why
I gotta keep it strong right now where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we definitely, I'm definitely part of the dad club with the extra D, dads against daughters dating. And you know, we don't do that dating shit around here. So when they get old enough, I don't believe in that. So it's gonna be shit like that I know that I'm gonna try my best to protect them from, like boys and shit like that. I can't do nothing about. I can't, because I already talked to my wife. I know what she was doing, so they gonna do the same thing. My wife snuck out. My wife had boyfriends when she wasn't supposed to. I'm not looking forward to this. Like, I'm not looking forward to this lifestyle. So I know when they get out older, they gonna try to sneak out the house. Oh, they gonna sneak out the house. It's not gonna be a try. Yeah. You know, kids do it. Kids are good at it. I don't know how, but you know, I did it. So I know they gonna do it. So, you know what I mean? And I just gotta be prepared to live that type of lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I'm just, I changed the game up, bro. You know, I changed my mindset. You know, for, like I said, for anybody coming into this, and if you're about to have a kid or you just have one, remember, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I promise you, it's gonna be the best time you ever had, because it's funny. Yeah. It's fun. Painful. It's painful. It's sad. It's stressful as hell. But it's so worth it, because
it's rewarding.
You may not notice it day 2, week 2, month 2. But man, I promise you, you're gonna be hanging out a day. One day you're gonna look at that kid and be like, wow, I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That kid, you see that kid? I did that. You know, I think, what was it? It was one day, I think we was at church, and Marilyn, when we get done with church, Marilyn got a whole group of people that she want to see. She want to see her old teacher from her old school. She want to see my realtor boy, because she really cool with my man Tim. So she want to see him. She want to see the pastor. And then, you know, so we got to go around the church and go see these people and stuff. And Marilyn saw this kid crying and stuff like that. And like, the baby like dropped the pacifier and stuff. And the mom, you can see the mom was stressing and shit like that. And the mom was sitting there, kind of like stopped for a second, and Marilyn picked up the pacifier, rinsed it off, went to the water fountain and rinsed it off, and came up to the baby, like rubbed his head and like put the pacifier in. Like really slow, like really to help. And I was like, you know, and I didn't tell her to do it. She just did it. She picked it up, ran, rinsed it off, brought it back, and then gave it to the baby. And she was like, I rinsed it off just to make sure that had any germs on it. And I was like, damn, that's my kid, bro. Exactly. I didn't tell her to do that shit. She just did it on her own because she wanted to make sure the baby was okay. And the mom was so helpful. Like, she was so thankful. Like, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. She was like, you tell her to do that? Nah, She just wanted to do it, bro. Trust me, I'm trying to leave. But she was that's just Marilyn, you know, and that's my kid right there. She just lived life like that. And I think it's so cool. Like, we talk about it like when people watch my kids. Like, I had the babysitter the other day for the Black Panther show. Word up to that. That movie's fire. But we went to that, and the babysitter at the end of the night, she was like, oh yeah, they were great. They were so perfect. They went right to bed. Marilyn helped me clean up. She helped change Callie and change Virginia. Like, you know, Virginia was cleaning up too. I was just like, for real? I was like, deadass? And she was just like, no, they were so good. And all I can think in my head was like, damn, bro, I'm doing something good. I was like, I'm doing something good. Shit. Like, damn, you know what I mean? I did something good, because if they could act like that when I'm not there, like without us bearing down on them and nothing like that, you know, you did something good. Like, you did something.
They got a little bit of act right on them.
You can't complain about something like that.
No, you can't.
And, you know, you just keep your head up. Just keep your head up. Do the right thing for the kid.
Exactly.
And then still take care of yourself. I put a little paraphrase at the end of that. A little footnote, take care of yourself. But make sure you do the right thing for the kid. You can't go wrong for that. You can't go wrong. As long as whatever you do is for the child, you can't go wrong.
Because there's times you're gonna be like, hey, like, am I doing something right? Like, am I doing enough, or am I doing a good enough job? Because shit, that's probably like the biggest thing with Myra, with my wife. She's always asking me, because again, recruiting, she wasn't really around like that because she had to work nonstop, and she felt guilty for not being there like she wanted to be. I'm not
She had an
saying
obligation.
but that's she has the obligation of as again
She had a
being
duty.
breadwinner
Got a
of the
duty.
family. And I tell her all the time, like, look, don't feel bad at all. You're doing what you got to do. And I tell the kids all the time, like, listen, she's doing this to provide. Like, you should be proud of mom.
She's doing it for you.
Yeah, she's
Like,
doing it for
you're
us.
not gonna see it right now. You're not gonna see it right now. You know
It's
what I
like
mean?
you gotta,
But it's for
reap
you.
the benefits, like setting the roots. Like I told him, like it's a plant. Like you gotta put the seed down. You gotta take care of it. And that's what mom's
It's
doing.
early. It's
Exactly.
early. It's early. We still in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We barely in the second right now.
Yeah,
So,
and I tell the kids that all the time, and I tell her all the time, like, and I tell both parties, I'm like, look, we're doing what we can, and we're doing a good job, okay? Because you know what, we could be having these kids propped up, and then us doing whatever the fuck we want, but we don't do that. We put them first at all times. You know,
all
my shit.
times.
There's times like me and my wife haven't gone on a date in a while, and it's because we have to put the kids first. Do I want to take my wife out? Of course I do. Do I want to have that alone time? But at the end of the day, I know what I like that. That's important. I know that, and I'm, I got to figure out a way to stop putting in the back burner as much. But at the end of the day, I got a job. These kids are my job, and for his teacher to tell me how he is in class, he's so helpful. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's very articulated with his words, and then the fact that he got student of the month is like, damn, like we did that, like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You're doing
saying?
something right.
We're doing something right. If he gets student of the month in all A's, he came to the crib this week with straight 100s on his test. Like I just went to the Veterans Day breakfast that they have for veterans, and I'm asking him, how's class right now? He's like, oh, we're taking the math test. I'm like, did you finish? He's like, no, I'm not done. But I'm like, how are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm doing good. I get it. I'm like, oh, take your time. He's like, yep, slow and steady. Wins the race. Like, this is what I implement in him. And again, it's like, I know there's, parents out there who don't have that template, that role model, because, their parent wasn't around, or, God blessing, like, their parent passed away and they didn't have that specific parent in their life. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to hit somebody up that who's a parent and try to get some advice from them, because at the end of the day, it takes a village to raise a child.
It does.
So
you gotta,
man.
you gotta do what you gotta do for the kid, man. I mean, that's all. I mean, that's kind of the whole game plan, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know we use sports analogies, but it makes sense though. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about the MVP thing, and like we talking about like with the game right now. Like I said, man, we early in the second right now.
Yeah.
Like, kids are young. You could be struggling. I'm talking about you could be struggling. If you're in your 20s, 30s, you could be struggling right now. I'm talking about financially, mentally, physically,
emotionally.
But at the same time, as long as you keep grinding, keep doing what you gotta do for you and the kids, it's only gonna get better. What's up?